What's good, y'all? And I'm here with a story time, and I just want to say all my story times is for educational purposes only, and for beneficial reasons to help. Alright, so let's get started. Now, let's start off with not judging. Alright, let's go there. Alright, so, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all know this now. When I was young, I was something else. I liked older guys. As long as I could remember, I always liked guys that was way older than me. And when I mean way older than me, I mean this, that. So, when in this particular story, I was 16 years old, and there was this one guy that I had met, and I think I met him online or something, and he was like so much older than me or whatever. Like, I didn't know nothing about this man. When I met him, he came to pick me up in his car. This is where this is going to help somebody, right? Because I want my young girls out there to know that it is no game playing online with these guys. Like, playing online, like I used to do, like I used to just like be bored when I was young and like just talk to people. Like, it didn't make no difference on who you were, per se, I guess you would say. I would just talk to people. And then, not to mention, when I was younger, I used to be, I guess you would say, a compulsive liar. So, I'm trying to sugarcoat it. I was a liar, alright? So, when I was young, this guy, I don't even remember him asking my age. I don't remember all that. We just like kind of clicked, if that makes sense. So he never asked me my age. I don't think he even cared enough to know, but nevertheless, I was a minor. And he was a grown man. So I feel like when he first seen me, he knew what age I was. Like, he could tell. You could obviously knew. I didn't smoke, didn't do none of that. Wait, yes, I did drink. But I wasn't drinking with him. So, yeah. Fast forward, me and him meet or whatever. He come pick me up or whatever. And then he drives me off. We drive off and we just like driving around. He asked me to roll. Now, mind you, he thinking I know how to smoke and all this. Like I told you, I was a little liar. I probably told this man I knew how to smoke, roll, and do all that in a dozen. Don't know how to do none of that crap. Mind you, just 16. So, he like, yeah, roll, da, 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 da. So then, I'm rolling, but I'm not knowing what I'm doing. And when he gave everything to me, it was almost like he had everything already ready. Now, this is where it gets dangerous at, y'all. So I tried to roll, couldn't roll. I rolled up this like, weird, it was just like a half blunt. Like it was, but y'all, one thing about that, the guard part, I should have known something was wrong with the guard. Because when he gave it to me, he didn't give it to me like, you know how most guards come in a pack, or most guards come, like in a wrap or something. Even like the backwoods, something like that, it comes in a wrap. This man gave that to me like as is, like just already gutted everything. I don't even think it had guard guts or something like that. But when I tasted it, I swear I tasted something, but I didn't really know because, like I said, I never really smoked, so I didn't really know what was going on, but I felt like it tasted weird. So then I rolled up the blunt. We were smoking it, right? Alright. Maybe about 10 minutes later, we're at a freaking sex shop. Yes, y'all. 16-year-old at a sex shop. Grown man. My family don't know where I'm at. I literally left. I literally just left. Didn't tell my family where I was at. Kind of just like snuck out the house type deal and left. Alright, so my family didn't know I was at. My brothers, my mother, my father, he didn't live with me, but that's not the point. He didn't know where didn't nobody know I was at in my family. Didn't know where I was at. So, mind you, I didn't have a phone then either. I didn't have no phone. I didn't have no way of them contacting me. I didn't have no way of, if I needed help, how I could, like, if this man was asked to, like, do something, I didn't have no form of communication to communicate with somebody that I needed help. So I'm smoking with him, and now I'm starting to feel it, but it's not feeling like per se a normal high. And now that I smoke, and, like, you know what I'm saying, I've smoked and I do stuff at this point, I know how a high feel. At that point, that was not the same high, bro. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how you try to put it to me. There was some, I feel like that man laced that gar with something. It was the gar that he laced. It was not the weed. It was the gar. And I promise y'all, I was in a sex store with him, and I felt like I was about to faint. I felt like then I was going to faint, or I was like going to like I felt like I was going to black out. And then all I just kept remembering me doing was praying. I just kept praying to God. I was like, God, if you get me out of this. Because this, my family, the only thing I kept thinking, I was like, my family do not know where I'm at. My family do not know where I'm at. If this man do something, if I black out at this sex store, and I'm already in a type of environment, like in a situation where I know what this can lead up to. And I'm just praying the whole time. I'm praying the whole time. My heart beating fast. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the feeling of how it made me feel. I felt like I was, like, my heart was beating fast. I felt like I was just like everything around me was moving slow, but it wasn't moving slow. But it felt like my heart and everything around me was moving fast. If that everything around me was moving slow, but me myself, I felt like everything was going fast. That's how I'm trying to explain to y'all. So I'm just praying. I'm like, God, please, please, please. So I'm leaned over at this point. And the cashier, she was a girl. She asked me, she said, "Are you okay?" And I just looked at her and I was like, yeah. And then she looked at me and she looked at him and then she looked at me and she was like, "Do you have your ID?" And then I was like, mind you, I wasn't trying to buy nothing. I'm just limped over. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just limped over. She straight up, "Do you have your ID?" And then he quickly and swiftly got in it and was just like, "Oh, no, I'm paying for this, da da da," you know, trying to, you know what I'm saying? And so he could cover his own, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, "No, I want to see her ID." And then he was like, "No, because I'm the one buying it, da da da." So they got into an argument. And at this point, I walk out the store or whatever. And I know it sounds crazy to y'all or whatever because I'm telling y'all a story. Obviously, I'm alive. But that's what I did at the time. I walked out the store and she was like trying to get my attention, but I was so out of there until it wasn't. I don't even know what I was trying to do. I was just trying to, like, get to a place where I could think of what I was going to do, basically. So I get to that point or whatever, and I'm at the car, and he's telling me, I hear him, but I don't see him. I had my eyes closed at that point. At that point, I had my eyes closed, and he was like, "Are you all right? You all right? You feel like you gonna throw up or something?" And I said, "Nah, I'm good." And then he tried to touch me. I said, "Don't touch me." And then he was like, I got myself in the car. And then I just, like, leaned back, but I never went to sleep. Never tried to make sure. I tried to make sure that this man wasn't going to do something to me and drive me off somewhere where I didn't know what it was. I just kind of, like, leaned back so I could try to get rid of this particular high that I was in. And then I told him, I was like, "Yeah, can you take me back to the crib or back to my crib or whatever?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, mind you, we're so far away from my crib. We were like maybe an hour or something away from the crib, so from my house at the time where I was staying." And he was like, "Yeah." So we driving, and it took a while for me to come down off the high, but I did. All right. I promised to God I would never do that again. Once I made it home and I made it to the part where, in the front entrance of where I was, I told myself I would never do that again or whatever. And I thanked God that I got myself and that he got me out of that situation that I was in, because that could have went totally bad, totally bad, totally bad. And later on, I never told my mom about that story. I never told my mom about that story. I never told him about him. This is how I got caught up with him. How my mom figured out that I was messing with I was talking to grown men. This is how she found out, basically. So one day, this man, now I had tried to block him because he kept trying to talk to me over, like, mind you, I told you I met him off of social media, which is why I feel like the way I feel about social media now, because I've always been in social media very active. So when I had got to that point, I had blocked him or whatever, but he still had my number, mind y'all. But I'm not thinking this fool was gonna freaking call the house like that. This fool rang up the house number. This fool, stupid fool, called. He called one day, and my mom kept wondering who is this, and I kept trying to cover, because every time I would see his number, I would just like, you know, I was trying to get out of it, like, and God was like, you're not getting out of it. God was just like, you're not getting out of it. Your mother's gonna find out what you're doing, and you're gonna stop talking to these grown men, because, like I said, it could have ended up, I could have got with the wrong type of person, if you get what I'm saying, and it could have went a totally different way. I could have got kidnapped. I could have died. I could have got arbored. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of different scenarios could have had happened, and God was trying to teach me right then and there. Hey, stop it. So, man kept calling the freaking house. And this fool called off this is how he got me. He called off I'll never forget, he worked at AutoZone. I didn't know that. So I'm thinking it was an AutoZone number, just calling my mom maybe for something or whatever. First thing this fool do, my mom, I was standing there too. I was standing there. And she was like, my mom answered the phone. She said, oh, AutoZone's calling. I don't know why AutoZone's calling me. Well, whatever. Shit, that's when, back in the day, them house phones had caller ID. That's how old I am. Alright, so, yeah, house phone had caller ID. She saw it was freaking AutoZone. She pick up. She like, hello? The first thing he said, Asia. She say, hello? She said, who are you calling? She said, Asia. She looked dead at me. She gave me the death stare of, y'all know how when the mothers give you that stare, you just look, it just like, yeah, she gave me that type of stare. And I'm just like, oh God, I'm gonna die. That's the first thing I thought. I said, I'm gonna die. My mama used to. See, my mama, she believed in whoopings dearly. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So, I'm like, oh gosh, my ass. That's the first thing I said, she's gonna beat my ass, Lord. And then she was like, you calling for my daughter? And then he was like, yeah, I'm calling for Asia. And she was like, you're a grown ass man. And she was like, what do you want with my daughter? What did y'all do? And this stupid fool was like, oh, I took her out and we had to go. I'm like, this fool. And then I'm like, at this point, I just had my head down. I'm just like, oh, I'm definitely getting a whooping. It's happening. Soon, my mama didn't even give it a chance, bro. My mom, was like, she hung up the phone on him. She whooped me. Then, what she did was wait until the next day in the morning to call the man's boss, right? Got him fired. She got him fired. Told him that he was a pedophile, that he was messing with a minor, which technically he was. Did he choose to ask me do I remember him asking me my age? No. But did he know the age that I was? I honestly do think he knew. There was signs there that let you know that I was not the age I said I was, or whatever age I said I was at the time. Either way, he shouldn't have been talking to me. Even if I had said I was like 17, he still shouldn't have been talking to me, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, and she got him fired, and he had a whole wife. He lost his wife. He lost his kids. In return, with everything that had happened, he lost everything within one phone call. So I say this story to bring back the education in this, and to bring back the of why I'm telling you this story, and why I'm actually, sharing the story with y'all. It's because I want the young girls out there to remember that these social medias and this internet crap is not, it's not worth your life. It's not worth something potentially extremely bad happening to you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like the different scenarios I gave you, them were only a couple. I want the young girls to know out there, there's other things that you could do to occupy your time other than being online, talking to, especially my young girls, talking to guys that, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, if you're in my position, if you know that you're doing what I used to do, stop it, please. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get hurt. And that's pretty much the value of my story and why I'm telling y'all. I just want y'all to be careful, all right? It makes me mad, and this is a very sincere message. Please, 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 just watch your back and stay to yourself, ladies, all right? Don't do all that other extra crap. You don't have to do all that. I'm not, matter of fact, I ain't gonna say don't date, but just worry about your schoolwork. Worry about your schoolwork. Worry about different goals in life that you want to do now, and manifest that for yourself when you get older. Them are the things that you worry about. Yeah, that's my story, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.